Hey, I'm student producer Nolan Gilarte, and you're watching MATC Now.
It doesn't take a lot, you know, just a little bit at a time. In this world, maybe it can change one day.
Community is defined as connections that are geographical, but also based on shared interests, values, and cultures. At MATC Downtown Campus in room S215 is where you can find not only food and supplies, but the heart of these connections. I am La Sierra Flowers, and this is a Student Passion Report. Beyond the rice, canned goods, ready-to-go meals, and even diapers, MATC's food pantry has it all. But what truly makes it special isn't just the supplies on the shelves, it's the people behind them. One of them is John Williams, a first-year gaming student who discovered something bigger than himself here. John found his passion. Can you describe a memorable moment or interaction at the pantry that really stuck with you?
Every day is a great moment for me. Just being able to see a lot of students come in and out of the pantry, being able to get those resources available to them, just marks the memorable moments for me. Just to be able to see that smile on those faces. A lot of people come in here pretty sad, pretty angry, but once they leave out of here with the food, with the resources we gave them, it's a whole different outcome. Everyone's happy, everyone's ready to go home and dig into their bags and getting their food. So to me, those are memorable moments for me.
In what ways do you think your work at the pantry connects with your future goals and career dreams?
By doing this, being able to support people in many ways and giving them the resources, giving them the food, this is a step to that. Then I'll be able to understand those people a little bit more, because them coming in brings stories. And I will always love to listen to people's stories. And that gives me, like I said, a broader just kind of outlook on everybody that I talk to and meet with and give support to, if that makes sense.
What have you learned about empathy, leadership, and teamwork with your time at the pantry?
Being able to provide what we have to offer here at the Student Resource Center, I feel as if that put me into a position where people look up to me and bring me that leadership role. And a lot of people come in here a lot, you know, asking for me. And that makes me feel happy, you know, just to see that there's people coming in here when I'm not here asking for my services, asking for my help. So that goes on that leadership part. The empathy, you never know where anybody's coming from, what they got going on in their life. So like when you come in here and you come in with a sad face, I'm trying to make that frown turn upside down, you know? So I expect you to walk out this door happier than you came in.
If you can share one message with your peers about the importance of giving back, what would you say?
Please, as much as possible, give back, do as much as you can, love one another equally. We're all in this together, and let's help each other out as much as possible.
I am the Director of Student Accommodations and Interpreting Services. So basically I have two departments. Interpreting Services, they provide services for students who are deaf or hard of hearing. Student Accommodations, they provide support for students with any documented disability. So a student would have to apply for accommodations, and then I have a facilitator who reviews their documentation of disability. And then once they are approved for accommodations, and that student will have those accommodations for the remainder of their educational career here at MATC. We provide testing accommodations, and that means when a student is approved for testing accommodations, they may have a special environment, a quiet testing booth, or extra time on tests. And when I say extra time on tests, an example would be if a student, if the classroom is getting an hour for the test, if a student had an approved accommodation of double time, that student would get a full hour, 2 hours for that particular test. We also provide a lot of adaptive equipment such as CCTV, closed circuit televisions, and those for students who are visually impaired. We may provide a service such as a smart pen. A smart pen is basically, it looks like an ink pen, but actually it records the student's lecture, especially, and that really works for a student who has maybe a learning disability or ADHD. And so that gives that student opportunity to focus on the lecture while the pen is actually recording the lecture for them. Another accommodation would be a preferential seating. If a student is visually impaired, they may, any class they're in, they may be able to have an assigned seat in front of the class. Also, if there's a physical impairment, they may have a special chair in the classroom. So it depends on the student's needs. And so usually when a student requests accommodations, they give us a list of things that would be beneficial while they're in school that would help to basically level the playing field to make sure they're getting their needs met. And then we work with that student to meet all those needs. I do this because I see there's a huge need for individuals who need a little more help to meet their goals. And so it's always been a passion of mine, and I advocate for our students. My team advocates for our students, and we really understand the need to have that extra help. And again, it's not to give them an advantage, it's to level the playing field.
I'm student producer Nick Moore here at Hubbard Park for another Hidden Gem KE. I'm here at scenic Hubbard Park, a nice out-of-the-way location from the hustle and bustle of the city, right alongside the Milwaukee River. Hubbard Park, located at 3565 North Morris Boulevard, is a great place to walk around, relax, and enjoy the coming spring weather. After you go through the tunnel, you'll see an amazing change of scenery. You can have a picnic at the picnic tables, a beer at the beer garden, go bird watching, or simply sit and relax. In 1922, the park was purchased by Shorewood Village President William J. Hubbard. Before that, it was used by the Native Americans for hunting and fishing. I'm student producer Nick Moore, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
Well, I have a soft spot for artists who reach out to me to add science to their creativity. I'm there every time, just because it's the mainstreaming of science when artists touch it and want to sort of make it their own.
Thanks, Nick. As I mentioned before, we're here exploring the Mequon campus here in the Child Care Center, and today I have with me Michelle Cumming. Michelle, how's it going today?
So far, so good. Thanks for asking.
Good to hear, and thank you for having us here. Now, can you explain to us your role here at the Child Care Center?
I am what they call a float teacher, so I don't have a designated classroom of my own, so I float between the 4 classrooms. I go wherever I'm needed, whenever I'm needed.
Very cool to hear. Now, who are the children who are eligible to be cared for here at the center?
We are a student service, so we take children of students. So while the students are in their class or taking an exam, they can leave their children here and we will care for them. That is our primary focus. And then secondly, we take faculty. And lastly, if there's any space available, we will take community.
Very cool to hear. Now, some of the activities that children who come here to the center are able to do during the day?
We are a play-based center, so the children learn primarily through play. So as you can see here, we have our imaginative play area, and we have a dollhouse and some toys, some pretend food, some kitchen utensils, farm animals, baby dolls, kitchen set, so they can learn and explore and imitate what they see in the real world. And then we have our fine motor skills area where they do puzzles, shapes. The little pig shape sorter is my personal favorite. And then this is our quiet area. This is where the teacher will do a group time and read some books. And if they need a minute, they can just relax.
Very cool. Now, I don't think that these chairs would be able to fit me.
Probably not. They don't fit me either.
Nor do I think a lot of the spaces here would be able to. Now, what are some of the other facilities that you guys have here at the Child Care Center?
We have 4 classrooms, an infant room, which takes children from 6 weeks to a year. We have that toddler room we were in, which is 1 to 2, an early preschool room, and a preschool room, and an outdoor play space.
Very cool. Now, what are some of the educational things that kids will learn here?
Well, like I said, it is play-based, so they learn with hands-on experience and through play. They learn how to share, how to cooperate. In the older classrooms, they will learn pre-kindergarten skills to get them ready for school.
Now, you mentioned play spaces. We're in a different room now. What do the kids do when, obviously we live here in Wisconsin, what happens when it's a blizzard and it's negative 10 degrees outside?
Then we are very lucky that we have the space we're in right now. They play in this room. This is called our large motor room, and we have a plethora of things that they can do to burn off some energy, as all children need to burn off energy and be outside. We have a tunnel, a basketball hoop, balls, trucks, climber. My personal favorite is the stepping stones.
Very cool.
And ball pit. And then they can play in the train, on the train, beside the train. And then there's a mat on the floor that they can tumble around on.
Very cool. Very nice and colorful. Now, let's say that there is a student here who goes to MATC. They go to the Mequon campus. They don't have anywhere to take their child during the day. How do they get in touch with you in the center here?
They would reach out to our coordinator at the center, and her name is Tracy Ruska.
Very cool. Well, I think it's time for us to wrap it up. I think I got to go to recess now that we're in this great play space. So thank you for having us, Michelle, and back to you in the studio.
Hey guys, thanks a lot. No matter whether you are preparing food in the winter or summertime, red pozole is always an amazing option. Red pozole is a hearty soup containing hominy kernels, vegetables, etc. So for the ingredients, I have chicken, chipotle paste, Mexican-style hominy, lettuce, garlic powder, chicken bouillon, bay leaves or laurel leaves, and onions. And for my garnishes, I have limes, chopped up onions, red radishes, and shredded lettuce. So first, you're going to get a pot that's already warmed up, and you're going to add in your water. And once your water is warmed up, you're going to add in your chicken. Oh, got a messed up glove. Okay, now we're going to add in our garlic powder, our chicken bouillon, our quarter onion, and I want to say 2 bay leaves. And usually this takes around 45 minutes, but I already have some prepared already. I'm gonna get that out. Okay, so I have my chicken broth out already, and I'm going to add in my chipotle paste. I pureed my chipotle paste before I started recording, but it has chipotle, oregano, water, and tomatoes. Gonna add that in there. Then we're going to add in our hominy kernels. And then our shredded chicken. And again, we're gonna let that simmer for another 30 minutes. I'm gonna have some more prepared. Oh, it's heavy. And here is our finished product. I'm gonna close the oven. And for our garnishes, I'm going to chop up some lettuce. Put that on top. Then I'm going to chop up a lime, give it a squeeze in there for a nice citrus effect. Put that right on top. Sprinkle in our radishes, nice pop of color, and our onions. Okay, and here is the finishing product. I'll say pozole is a very delicious dish. Keeps you nice and warm inside, especially for the winter time. It's very flavorful, but it's also a very simple dish. And this is how you make red pozole. Thank you guys for tuning in, and see you next time. Back to you, studio.
As the new school year begins, students at MATC are jumping back into programs that prepare them for their future careers. Starting the year, many students have been involved in wanting to learn and explore the radiography program in the healthcare department. Students gain hands-on experience with modern equipment and real-world clinical training, building the skills they need to work in hospitals, clinics, and imaging centers. To get a closer look at the program, we'll explore what this year has in store for the next generation of new students.
So I am actually an alumni of MATC, and so I knew how good the school was just as far as professors and professionalism and landing a job after school. And so that pretty much drew me to it. I already had experience with that, and I lived in Milwaukee, and yeah, it was just it seems like they had a really good reputation for it.
While students starting in the program are getting a taste of professionalism that is required in their field, students who graduated are applying these skills in their everyday life, learning more about themselves than they ever could.
I think I'm really prepared to work with a variety of personalities. We go through several different clinic sites as well as hospitals, and I think that allowed me to really get a perspective of, okay, I might not fully get along with everybody, but I can work with everybody. And knowing that we all have the same end goal, which is patient safety, which is making sure they get the best possible image so that they can see anything going on, that's really helped me a lot. We have a lot of imaging equipment access that other places don't have. So some of the hospital systems, you're using the hospital equipment, which means you don't have access to personalized one-on-one time. We have tutors, and they open up the rooms and are available for one-on-one time with the actual equipment that you'd be using. So that's very helpful. And then we have the energized lab, so we're doing real-life x-rays.
With students being given the ability to learn how to be professional and gain hands-on knowledge with equipment they'll be using in their field, it's no wonder this program has a high waitlist for admission.
Well, the waitlist is extensive right now. Can be intimidating for students when they see the waitlist or they're told how many people are on a waitlist. But they also, I think, realize that if they stick with it, meaning if they don't get in the first time, we encourage them to reapply for the next year. So it can be very intimidating, but if you stick with it, it's worth the wait.
The radiography program at MATC continues to give students the skills and experience they need to succeed in healthcare. With the program evolving to meet high demands, the next generation of radiologists are ready to step into the field and make an impact.
Most excited to learn in this program, again, pretty much everything. And so all of it has just been really challenging and really fun. So yeah, I'm looking forward to hopefully become a mammographer after this.
Hey everyone, I'm student producer Spencer Knoll, and this is another Hidden Gem KE. If you're looking for a great new spot to take a quick study break this year, look no further than Trestle Park.
Trestle Park is located at 501 East Erie Street along the river in Milwaukee's 3rd Ward District. This park, which opened in 2018, is wedged between two massive apartment complexes on what used to be an active railway. The park doesn't shy away from its past. Many railway elements can still be seen throughout the park, like these refurbished railroad crossing lights.
But the most obvious part is this massive swing bridge behind me.
Built in 1915, the bridge is 243 feet long and weighs over 800 tons. The park also has many native prairie plants as part of an effort to bring more native plants back to the area.
I'm student producer Spencer Knoll, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
Ecophilia is the deep love and connection a person may have with nature. According to them, nature has been the coolest gift human race has ever received. Hi, I'm La Sierra Flowers, and this is a Student Passion Report. Francis Bresser is a student in the animation program at MATC and is a lover of biology and nature. During his free time, he tries his best to spend most of his time walking around the rivers, in the woods, and sometimes looking for tiny lives. When did your connection with nature begin?
I've been pretty into nature since I was really young. I mean, I always had dinosaur books. I always was interested in specific animals.
In your own words, how would you describe ecophilia?
It's like a deep love for nature is how I'd describe it. Like a really deep love for nature.
What is it about nature that fascinates you?
A lot of things. I just have a general interest in science, and I happen to take a lot of interest in nature itself. Mostly I like knowing how life works, evolution and its study, evolutionary biology is something that I am particularly interested in. I also just really like studying bugs and plants. I tried to find some bugs earlier, but I couldn't really find any. The most I've got is this mounted, you know, the pins, bugs in containers. I got this really pretty blue morpho butterfly, this massive butterfly that they find in rainforests and stuff in a glass container. It's really cool. But
how often do you spend your time exploring nature?
Not as much as I'd like. I really like going out, but I don't really get much opportunity to, unfortunately. But I mean, I try to go out as much as I can. It's crazy to think that how much every single thing ties into the ecosystem like that. You've got I mean, obviously the plant life, it's able to make this beautiful area just by existing, and I think that's really cool. And then on top of that, you've got all these other creatures that are able to feed off the plants, and then the creatures feed off the other creatures, and then it's those creatures die, and then it feeds back into the plants, and it's like, you know, the whole life cycle. I think that's really awesome.
It has been proven that for stress relief, it could be beneficial to be exposed to the natural environment. Some people like to go into the woods for a walk, and it reduces their anxiety. Being close to nature may increase a feeling of connection with oneself. There are many other benefits to spending personal time admiring the beauty of nature. It is a sign of gratitude.
Thanks, Nick. As I mentioned earlier, we're here at the MATC Mequon campus's greenhouse, and today I have Lauren Reckinger with me. Lauren, how's it going today?
Good. Thanks for visiting, Max.
Yeah, of course. Thanks for having us here. Now, can you tell us what you do here at the greenhouse?
Yeah, I'm like the unofficial greenhouse manager, so I keep this in tip-top shape and running, and I make sure the plants are alive and the bugs aren't eating them.
Obviously, that's an important job. And now, what are some of the people, or who are some of the people that you work with here?
Yeah, so a lot of the students end up doing a lot of the propagation as part of like their learning experience, but we also have student volunteers and student workers helping out in the greenhouse.
Very cool. And now, I see behind us you guys have some what almost looks like, you know, little leaves here in the ground. Can you kind of explain to us what's going on back here?
Yeah, so these are snake plants. Snake plants are really interesting because you don't need a full leaf to propagate it. And the students in Intro to Hort are taking different hormones, and they're trying to see which hormone helps the plant root.
Very cool.
The best. That one's not rooted. So yeah.
And then I see over here we also have what looks like octopus tentacles coming out of the ground here. What are these all about over here?
That's a spider plant. We've got a student who is interested in seeing how the spider plant that they have at home propagates.
Okay.
So they did it in soil, and they also did it in water, which is really interesting. And it's only been 2 weeks, but it's already rooting.
Very cool. And is that a usual timetable for those kind of plants?
I think for spider plants, but all the other plants, like they all have different timelines for growing.
Very cool. Now, what are some of the other tools that you guys work with here in the greenhouse?
Yeah, so this greenhouse is really high tech. We've got misting benches that are automated. We just have to learn how to use them properly depending on what plant we've got growing there. We've got drip lines that we can hook up to the different pots. And all of our vents and stuff are controlled by a really high tech program.
Very cool. And now, what are some of the other plants that you guys grow here? I saw over here we have one of my favorite flowers, the marigolds. But what else do you guys grow here in the greenhouse?
Yeah, we grow whatever we can get our hands on. Coleus is a really popular one. This is easy to propagate. A grower donated these begonias to us.
Beautiful.
An instructor had this plant at home. It's an anthurium, and these guys take 3 years to flower, so that should be really interesting to see. And then we've also got like various herbs we like to propagate, such as this guy. I'm sure you know what this is, Max.
Yes, I love rosemary. Rosemary is one of the absolute best smelling plants. Just literally the only one that beats this one is oregano, but I digress.
Yes.
Now, obviously, as we came into this the second portion of the greenhouse here, we saw all of these wonderful plants, but I see back here that you guys have what looks to be like a lot of the same plant. Can you kind of explain what's going on here in the back?
Yeah, so we've kind of got a tradition where every year we grow poinsettias for Christmas time. And this year we've got 7 different types. Poinsettias are really cool because they're a great opportunity for students to learn how to grow a very fussy plant. So in greenhouse production, they get to observe all the differences, like this one doesn't need as many nutrients as, say, the white ones there. And yeah, just learn about poinsettias, and then hopefully we get to sell them at the end of the year.
Very cool. Now, can you tell us a little bit about this sale? I've heard about it a little bit, but where can people go to buy some of these plants, and when is that happening?
Yeah, we're going to have the plant sale here on campus, and the students are putting together the timeline for that. We're looking at the first week of December, but we'll make sure everybody knows. So there will be posters around and everything. So
very cool. Well, you heard her, obviously. Thank you, Lauren, for having us here today. We really appreciate your time. And Nick, back to you in the studio.
Nature's beauty reveals itself in so many forms, from bright, endless skies that lift your spirit to calming blue waters that seem to wash away every worry. It's in the winding trails built for walking, biking, and simply taking it all in, where the rustle of leaves and the rhythm of your own footsteps remind you to slow down. And when the day fades, the night sky takes over, vast, quiet, and full of stars that remind us of how small we are in the most beautiful way.
I believe that God created everything, and it's crazy how like every single leaf is like different from the next one, and like even looking at a tree or something, like you see all the little details in the bark, and it's crazy how like not one single tree is like the same as the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And there's all these different types of trees, and there's different types of flowers, and even like the rocks, like who put all those rocks there, you know what I mean? So yeah, even just like looking into little details, I think it's really cool to look and just see how things are different from each other, and really just how intentional God was when he put everything together, making it not just like similar or like boring, like no, it's a very vibrant and like awesome earth that we live on, where things are like exciting, and you can look at different stuff and be like, wow, this is different from before.
My responsibility is to stop throwing stuff out the window and stop smoking in the bad air, because that can make bad air for real. And yeah, our also responsibility is to make sure we dispose everything into the right trash can instead of putting in recycled trash and trash and trash and recycle. So yeah, that is our responsibility when it comes to nature.
Their reflections challenge us to look beyond the moment, to think about the generations that will one day walk the same trails, swim in the same waters, and gaze at the same stars. Nature gives freely, asking only that we care enough to preserve it, because in the end, protecting the earth isn't just about saving trees or oceans. It's about saving the balance, peace, and beauty that make life worth living.
I have been teaching this for now almost more than 20 years, and I have enjoyed it because I think I am doing a very important job of creating environmental guardians for future. Because the students, the graduates from the program, they would in one or the other way contribute to saving environment and working towards community health and environmental health. So we look into some phytoplanktons, we look into some periphytons, so we look into different algae samples. Apart from that, during fall we work with aquatic plants. So students learn how to identify between aquatic plants and presence of those aquatic plants, what they indicate about the water quality. We look at the macroinvertebrates, the bugs and the critters that we find in our fresh waters, and apart from that, we identify fishes. All these are biological indicators that help us in assessing the water quality. We are getting hands-on lab skills. They are learning how to assess environmental health conditions, be it on field or in lab, how to apply the learned skills when they are at job. Prepping up labs, because some of our graduates, they go into lab jobs and then sometimes they are working all by themselves. So how to follow the instructions, how to prep up the labs, they're learning all those skills. So yep, we are learning plenty of skills, sample collection, sample analysis, and then data analysis. So yep.
For me, being a student in the Environmental Health and Water Quality Technology program it's really great. I've always really been interested in science. I've always really been interested in how the world works and how we as human beings affect it. And using this program, using the knowledge that they're giving me here, that's really what I get to learn. I get to learn how I can help change the world.
It's something that it's a meaningful process that I want to go through. I really enjoy it, learning stuff that really I'm getting into, that I want to in my field. What I want to learn personally though is kind of how humans have impacted the environment and how we could go about reversing that.
It's great here because MATC provides me with support that I need. I have a good team to work with. They are very supportive. And I'm not just teaching, I'm learning every day working here. So I enjoy every day of my job here.
And welcome to this week's cooking. Today I'm going to be showing you how to make a Mother Nature's healthy sandwich, a very delicious meal option for any day. The ingredients that I have brought are multi-grain bread, cream cheese, grated carrots, thinly sliced cucumber, I'm gonna be slicing this tomato, chili powder, Kobe Jack cheese, lettuce, and lastly alfalfa sprouts. First, you're going to want to take a butter knife or whichever you like to use and spread your cream cheese onto your bread. And you're going to spread cream cheese on both sides. And then once cream cheese is on both slices, we are going to sprinkle some chili powder on both slices, just so we could add a little extra flavor. And now for my tomato, I'm going to take my sharp knife and thinly slice. You want to make sure that you cut thin slices so that you don't just take a full bite of just tomato. This tomato is very overwhelming. And you also want to make sure when you cut your cucumbers, they're thinly sliced too, because again, cucumbers are very overwhelming as well. Just gonna add it. It's gonna do two on both. Oh, might as well do the last. Now I'm going to sprinkle my grated carrots on both sides. So you can add a nice crunch to it. Some other things that you could add to this sandwich is beefsteak, provolone cheese, lemon juice, and kosher salt. But this is a vegetarian dish, so we're not going to be adding any meat today. We're going to add our Kobe Jack on both slices of bread. Now we're going to add our lettuce on both sides, just for a little more extra crunch like the carrots. Alfalfa sprouts are a bit interesting ingredient as they're a part of the flowering plant of the legumes family, and it can be found in the UK or even in South Africa. It's crazy. Now I already added my Kobe Jack cheese and my lettuce, so now we can assemble the sandwich. It's gonna flip. Ooh, she's thick. Now we're just gonna cut open our sandwich and see how it looks inside. And voila, she's finished. Again, this meal is delicious, perfectly nutritious, and makes a great meal prep. Thanks for joining us this week, and back to you in the studio.
Hello, I'm student producer Anthony Mamawa here at Menominee Valley Community Park, and this is another Hidden Gem KE. From where I'm standing, it might not look like a lot, but right beside me is a park full of history and beautiful sights to see. So let's go check it out.
Back in 1847, this was once Wisconsin's first railroad, making its first run on November 20th, 1850. Today, it pays homage to those thousands of Milwaukee Railroad employees who worked on this exact work site.
Some say if you were standing in this very same spot 150 years ago, there's a chance you would be in the way of a passing train. But this land's history goes deeper than that, so let's go a little further back.
In the 1800s, this was once Native American land filled with prairies and a never-flowing river. Today, Menominee Valley Community Park is those two history lessons combined. Not only does this park have countless seating areas for you to immerse yourself in nature, it also offers large open fields, perfect for playing. And of course, we can't forget, it also has plenty more of nature's beauty. And if you're lucky, you might even catch a train.
It's not just a community park, but a whole valley. There's so much more to see and explore. Hope to see you there soon. I'm student producer Anthony Mamawa, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
Talk about it all the time. I started doing it because I felt like the job wasn't actually a job. That was something that was really fun for me, is waking up every single day and not dreading it, right? And that you hear those horror stories all the time that people just do a 9-to-5 job just to do a 9-to-5 job. And for me, it's so much more because you get to help mold and create these young athletes into being better people, hopefully, outside of their 2 to 4 years in college. And so that's probably one of the biggest reasons why I started coaching, was just because you get to help touch so many lives and help those young athletes have a little bit more sense of purpose and have a little bit more sense of direction to help them set up for hopefully really bright futures outside of here, to continue to help just everyone in life day in and day out. Right, so we've had guys who have gone on to go be all-region players. We've had some guys win Gold Glove. We've had an All-American even, which is being the best player at your position in the whole entire country. And so for us, it's not always just about the wins and losses on the field, though. Me being in charge of the academics, I think some of the biggest wins that you can get is your graduation rate, or your rate of guys and girls getting to move on and continue to play in their sport outside of here. And so last year we had roughly 95% of our athletes either graduate or move on to go to a four-year institution to continue their career. And that's something that's really, really nice to take home with you, and knowing that you're not only helping them on the field, but the amount of help that we're able to do for them off the field to set them up to have a bright future. I think sometimes those awards are just as nice. But of course, at the end of the day, I want to win a national championship. That's why we're here, that's what we're trying to do. But we're also trying to create great young men and young women for society outside of here as well.
Coach Bounds helps to shape these students into not only mean machines on the field, but into well-rounded, successful students off the field. The athletic department supports those students and the bright future that's ahead of them.
I love what I do. I don't think I would do it any other way. I just don't know of a job that I would really want to do or that I would enjoy or like as much as I like this one. So yeah, I think if I did it over 100 times, I would pick being a college baseball coach.
Hey Nick, thank you. As I mentioned before, we're here at the MATC Game Club checking out everything that's in here, and today I have one of the Game Club members with me, Magnus Bond. Magnus, how's it going today?
I'm doing pretty good, Max. It's good to have you here.
Great to hear. Thanks for having us. Now, can you kind of tell us what you guys do here at the MATC Game Club?
Of course. So every Thursday night at about 5 p.m., all the gamers gather in this here room, and we have, as you can see, 3 TVs, and everyone just brings what they can, and everyone just starts gaming. Everyone hangs out. We bring some good snacks. We got, I think some people bring like their Switches and whatnot. I've seen people play Smash Brothers and whatnot here.
Very cool. And I saw you guys have some card games down here on the table. Do you guys do that a lot here as well?
Yes, we do. Magic the Gathering, Yu-Gi-Oh! Some people even do some like Dungeons and Dragons here every once in a while.
Do you guys get really competitive into that?
I don't personally partake. However, I've seen some very intense matches. Many things have been said in this room, and most of them very positive.
Very cool. Now, as you mentioned, there is a bunch of TVs on the wall, and I heard recently there was actually a Smash tournament for Halloween.
Yes.
Did you partake in that at all?
I did not, unfortunately, because I'm just not that good, especially when it comes to Smash Bros. I just like to fly around a little and completely avoid fighting people. But yes, that did happen, and there were some good prizes, some good snacks, a lot of candy, and a lot of good Halloween fun.
Makes sense. And now I saw, like you mentioned earlier, we got Dungeons and Dragons over here. I saw a couple of D20s earlier. I'm familiar with those, even though I don't play the game myself. Bunch of other stuff here in the room. And now, what are some of the other games that you guys play here in the game club?
Oh man, well, mostly competitive games, obviously, just so everyone can join in. But I've seen some people play some light story-based games, some sandbox. Of course, some good old classic Nintendo games. As you can see, there's our lovely Mario.
I did see Mario here on the wall when we walked in. Now, as we start to get ready to send it back into the studio, how can people find out more about the Game Club?
I would say just come on in. Every Thursday at 5, you sign in. You can ask around. Really, I would just come in, say hi, and just see what's going on. There's so many people to meet, so many faces to see, so many stories to tell. What can I say?
Very cool. Well, there is one game I see over here on the wall that I think you do play, the Magic 8 Ball.
Big fan.
And Magic 8 Ball, is it time to send it back into the studio with Nick? Almost certainly. So Nick, back to you in the studio.
Hello, my name is Niltag, and today I'm here at the TCAM campus to report and investigate allegations of cheating in last week's pool tournament. Joining me today is an employee of that tournament who has agreed to do an in-person interview. Hopefully they'll help us get to the bottom of the so-called pool cheater. Stay tuned. Hello and welcome. Today I am joined by Haras Diog. Haras, how do you today?
I'm fine. Thank you for asking.
I wanted to know, what exactly was your involvement with the pool tournament?
Well, I was the floor manager, so basically what I do is just supervise, set everything up properly, and keep a lookout for any suspicious activity.
So what exactly led to these allegations being spread?
Well, there was this leaked phone call.
Interesting. Here's that leaked audio.
Hello? Yes? Hey, it's me, Erdna. I'm tired, man. What are you calling me for? I wanted to talk about the game. What happened? All heated towards the end. Yeah, that's usually how tournaments work. It gets competitive towards the end. Are you drunk? The balls went all misaligned, and you lost. I'm feeling tired is what I'm feeling. Did you just call me to make fun of me? No. I just wanted to let you know. I had to repolish my floorboards. Are you serious right now? I thought we were buds. Okay, if we are, then tell me, did you do anything to the pool balls? Hold on, wait. There's someone staring at me from my window. Oh wait, that's me, I'm looking in the mirror. Why do I always get the weirdos calling me?
I also gather all the pool balls to make sure none of them are missing, but I noticed that some of them had a slightly slippery feel to them, but that could be from multiple factors.
Interesting. Most interesting. Well, Haras, thank you so much for your time today.
Thank you so much for having me. Do I get paid? Yes? Oh, the check comes in the mail.
And there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Did Erdna cheat? Did he alter the pool balls that made Nair lose the game? With no conclusive answer, that's for you to decide. Thank you for joining us for another episode of Alleged Investigations. Did we get it? Good? Yeah?
A football player gets blindsided by a linebacker. Bad weather causes a car to lose control and crash. Or maybe it's just as simple as a slip and a fall. No matter how you get injured, it's important to get the right help so that you can get back on your feet and back to your life. Every year, students in the Physical Therapist's Assistant Program at MATC take the charge to learn what they can do to help.
The program really is about becoming a movement expert. We want to be viewed, we want the physical therapy profession to be viewed as the people who are the experts in movement. So when people out in society have problems with movement of any sort, we are going to be those individuals that they should seek to help them return to their previous activities and movements.
That's Holly Pitts. She's the clinical coordinator and one of only 2 instructors in the program. She makes sure that students have the knowledge and experiences they need to guarantee their success.
What's nice about our program is that our students aren't in lecture for long periods of time. We're always kind of bouncing back and forth between lecture and lab type activities, which keeps our students interested and not falling asleep. Besides the facilities that we have here, our students go out on 3 clinical rotations where they're actually out in hospitals and outpatient clinics, schools, nursing homes, going to people's homes and providing physical therapy there.
That hands-on experience provided by the Physical Therapist Assistant Program is critical to students, such as Abby Holman.
Well, we do a lot of hands-on work. You know, it's exercises, stretches, and that things like that. So we do them ourselves with our classmates so that we understand how to teach them to other people. So yeah, but now I really have a good grasp and I feel like confident that when I get out into the workforce, I'll be able to do what I need to do.
Between the fantastic facilities, valuable experiences, and strong community present in the PTA program, it's not hard to understand why these students look like they wouldn't want to be anywhere else.
So my favorite part about teaching this program is just seeing the progress. It's really fun because we teach the students for the full 2 years. We establish relationships with them and they come in knowing nothing about exercise or rehabilitation of patients, and they leave being able to practice out in a clinic or hospital setting.
Hey fans, football season is in full swing, and for today's 120-yard treat, I'll be preparing a salsa verde burger. A salsa verde burger is a little twist on your typical game day eat that combines some Tex-Mex ingredients and toppings with the classic cheeseburger dish that we all know and love. And today I will be using Beyond Meat for my burger today and green salsa, but you can also go with the old USDA ground beef if that's your style as well. For our ingredients, I've gathered some tomatoes, burger buns, salsa verde, Dijon mustard, lettuce, tomatoes, onions, my bad, Beyond Meat, queso fresco, and if you want to, you could add cilantro to your burger as well. And you, of course, need a hot pan and a spatula and a plate to place your finished product on. First, I'm going to sear my burger. My burger is already cooked, but I'm just gonna give it a nice crust on both sides. Turn my heat up. And while my burger is cooking, I'm going to slice up my lettuce. You just wanna shred your lettuce, because this isn't like your typical burger. This is more of like a Hispanic-like burger, so, or what they say, a Tex-Mex burger. And I already sliced my tomatoes. You're gonna wanna dice your tomatoes as well. You don't wanna like slice everything too thick because you don't want all the ingredients to overpower like the burger itself. Just gonna flip it. Okay. And for my onions, I don't know if you can see, but I sliced my onions thinly sliced because onions are very overwhelming and you don't want those to overpower your dish as well. Beyond Meat also tastes amazing and still has the same color as regular meat, and it doesn't have all the bad things in them, not cancer causing and all that. Now I'm just gonna add some seasonings. If you wanna add seasonings, you can, but right now I don't really wanna add seasonings to my stuff. I added it beforehand. Now let's assemble the burger. So first I'm going to top it off with some Dijon, a nice generous amount. We're gonna go in with some lettuce. I like lettuce, so I'm gonna add a generous amount. Some red onions. My tomatoes. I like it when my burgers are hefty, but you can add as much as you'd like. Okay, now that my patty has a nice crust on it, just gonna place it on, plap. Then top it off with some salsa verde. You can get your salsa verde anywhere. I got mine from my local Metro Market, but they also have very good salsa verde at Cermax. You're just gonna top it off with some cilantro as well. And lastly, some queso fresco. Flip. Ooh, looks yummy. And there you have it, a salsa verde burger. It's like the advanced burger. Thank you for tuning into today's cooking. Oh my goodness. And happy game day. Go Pack Go. Back to you in the studio.
I'm student producer Lucious Burton here at Cause Mini Bowl, and this is another Hidden Gem KE. Tucked away on Milwaukee's southeast side, Cause is more than just a bowling alley, it's a piece of living history.
Cause's history traces back to the 1880s, but its story took a big turn in 1947. Back then, it was known as Ben and Harriet's Parkview Bar, until a fire burned it down. In repairs, it led to the addition of 4 duck pin lanes. 31 years later, the Kozlowski family stepped in, bringing new life to the old alley and polishing it up to shine as bright as a bowling ball. At Cause Mini Bowl, every game carries on a tradition that's rarely seen today. After each roll, the pins aren't reset by machines, but by hand. Thanks to the dedication of pin setters working behind the lanes, the process keeps the rhythm of the game alive and keeps a piece of bowling history while locals and visitors enjoy the relaxed vibe, retro charm, and fun. Cause Mini Bowl isn't just a mini bowling alley, it's a Milwaukee experience, a hidden gem where history and fun come together one roll at a time.
I'm student producer Lucious Burton, and this has been another Hidden Gem KE.
I'm student producer Aidan West. Tune into MATC Now.
Hello Stormers, and welcome back to MATC Now. Today we'll look at how our modern world has evolved with the use of technology. We'll see what develops in the new MATC Biolab, and we'll spend this episode exploring advanced technology here on campus. All this and more on this episode of MATC Now. Welcome back, everyone. I am your host, James Charles, and joining us this evening is my good friend and co-host, the Mac to My PC, Nick Gross. Nick, how was your spring break?
James, good to see you. You know, spring break was very rainy. I'm sure it's been a rough time here in Milwaukee with the weather these last couple of days, but I'm very happy to be sitting on this couch and see that perfect James smile.
Well, thank you, and thank you to all the military dentists who did this work. Now, Nick, I don't know if you saw my facts about today's show, and I couldn't find a payphone to page you, but do you know what we're talking about today?
Yes, I do, which proves my point. Exactly, James. We're going to be talking about technical advancements. Technology has shaped the way we live today. It's brought us instant communication, entertainment, fitness tracking, safety, and many more things. Technology can be used in many different ways to advance, but do these advancements also have their downsides?
Before we start, it looks like Max has logged on faster than a 56K dial-up to share with you, the viewers, a closer look at MATC's unique STEM Center. Max.
Thanks, James. We're here at the MATC downtown campus outside of the STEM Center, where we'll be taking a look at some of the new technologies and tools that students can get their hands on. Check back with us in a bit.
Well, thanks, Max. We'll check back in a bit. Now, Nick, let's quickly take a look at the evolution of technology with student producer Lucious Burton III, where he shows us how MATC students are at the forefront of innovation and ready for the workforce with advanced technology.
And AI are reshaping everyday life. It changes the way students here at MATC learn and adapt, but it also changes the world around us. The use of hands-on experience we once relied on is being taken away with the advancement of technology. At MATC, the shift is already visible. Students experience the world through their phones, constantly connected, constantly consuming, and finding new ways to let AI do the work for them. Recent 2026 reports show that 57 to 86 of college students use AI for coursework, common ones being brainstorming, tutoring, and studying, though 74 of faculty report students using AI is for essays. While 74% of Americans believe students should be taught AI, many schools still discourage it.
It's definitely thought-provoking to see how AI is replacing existing technologies and how this will affect the employment of so many. From the invention of the wheel to the Industrial Revolution, this is not a new topic by far. Joining us today for our discussion is James Thompson. James, thanks very much for being here today. All right. Now, you have a long and storied background, but briefly, you do. Tell us about your role here at MATC and what you're here to talk about.
Well, I teach mechanical design technology. I've done that since the mid-90s. I started at Waukesha Tech and then picked up full-time here at MATC, first of all at West Campus and now downtown. I consider 313 as my room, nobody else's. Once upon a time, I don't know if you're interested, but you know, we used, as things transition, we've gone from drafting tables. These are drafting tables and stools, and then we pushed in more desks. I don't know how we fitted everybody in with cathode ray tube computer monitors, bulky and heavy, and yet we work together, and slowly the drafting tables just plain old disappeared. And now we're only computer technology. We draw first of all in 2 dimensions in AutoCAD. That requires the thought of what's front view, top view, right side view, left side view, etc. Orthographic projection, which coincidentally was invented by the French back around the Revolution time. All of the fortifications that used to be made so that you could enfilade, nasty troops attacking you. It was done by mathematics, and this fella, he came up with the method of orthographic projection so you could solve these problems. The French held it as a military secret for about 20 years, and then it leaked out to the rest of the world. And now we're better at it than they are.
So, James, when did you first get into this field of work here at MATC?
Back in 1989, coincidentally, and I say coincidentally, that's I had been working actually in the field as a mechanical engineer. I graduated from UW Milwaukee. I started out at UW Platteville. I really like the engineering field, mechanical. I think it's fun. A lot of people don't. If you enjoy mathematics, it's a great career to be in. A lot of people don't enjoy mathematics, and yet still, once they join our program and they see the purpose of the mathematics, they start to like it, whether they want to or not.
Has it been difficult to stay current with the evolution over the years?
Not entirely. It's not like electronics where you really need to stay current, but so long as you move ahead, you know, still when I hold a pencil, I tend to roll it. You know, just out of habit.
Of course.
This used to be a row of 4 different thicknesses of pencil. Now it's erasable, you know, pens. But moving from, you know, pencil drafting to computer drafting, 2-dimensional, to 3-dimensional modeling, where the 3-dimensional modeling allows, you know, so if something was supposed to be 24 inches and somebody says, no, that should be 27 inches, then you just double click on that 24 and you type in 27 and the model expands. Once upon a time with a pencil, that was just misery. Even with AutoCAD, it was no fun.
Right.
Now you can do it. And then the calculations go along with it. So at the moment, we're 3 weeks to the end of the semester, 3.5 weeks, and I've got a group of people who are, you know, modeling things. First of all, they do all the calculations.
So many changes and many students still learning from you, and absolutely benefit
I hope
to everyone
so.
here. Absolutely, sir. Well, James, thanks for being with us today.
More than
and
welcome.
Let's take a look back at MATC STEM Center with our field correspondent, Max Martinson. Max.
Thanks, James. As I mentioned earlier, we're down here at the STEM Center at the downtown campus, and today I have the educational assistant, Christopher Archuleta, with me. Chris, how's it going today?
Good, how are you doing?
Doing good. Thank you so much for having us in here. Now, we've been talking a lot about STEM, but STEM is kind of a broad topic, so can you kind of explain what it is, and can you like narrow it down for us a little bit?
Absolutely. So STEM is science, technology, engineering, and math. Together they comprise a high-demand sector, always looking for people to hire, and in turn, STEM pathway at MATC is always looking for new students.
Very cool. Now, I think if I was a new student, this would be a place where I would want to come. I mean, just walking by the window through the hallways, we got remote control robots, we got mechanical arms, and then when I walked in here earlier today, I saw back here that we have this human body on what looks to be like a digital screen. Can you kind of explain what we have going on back here?
Absolutely. So this is an anatomage table, digital cadaver and anatomy table. There are a few of these throughout MATC, actually. Here we have Victor, who was a real person, not the real name though. But you can see that this is a very powerful tool with very good graphic abilities, right? So you could toggle transparency. You could also isolate different body systems, right? So right there's the cardiovascular system isolated. So it's a very powerful study tool.
Are there any other tools that you can use on this machine?
Right, there are other cadavers. There are even like cell models on here. There are like animal models. There's a lot of stuff on here.
Very cool. Now, who are some of the students that can come into this space and use all of this equipment that you guys have in here?
So our equipment is meant to augment STEM students studying, but everybody is welcome to study here. And some of our programs actually have a grant called Skills to Build. So, you know, we offer some free money. Some of the physical stuff we have for students to study include a 3D printer. We also have some like geology models for earth science students to use. Some electronics engineering stuff like oscilloscope and multimeter. We also have microscopes, you know, some biological science students.
And you mentioned the whole physical portion of anatomy, and now obviously we've moved spaces, but now we can see you have some physical models here, more anatomy stuff. What do students use these for?
Right, so this is the Anatomy and Physiology Open Lab, where students can do their prerequisites for anatomy-related courses like you see in healthcare, and also biomedical technology in the STEM pathway. So we got a muscular arm that you guys just saw. That's kind of a comprehensive model with all kinds of stuff on it, like gastrointestinal, and I see nasal cavity, ribs. To the right of that, you could see like a femur bone. So yeah, the students come in here and they get acquainted with the human body. That right there is dividing cell, metaphase, I believe. There we got, you birthing, fetus inside of a uterus, so all kinds of body systems.
Very cool. And now I see that there's a bunch more models in this room, and I see even over here we have like the vascular system and even like the muscular system. What do students kind of use this for?
Same thing as the other ones, but in order to really familiarize yourself with the body, you have to know all the parts to it, right? So these models, they kind of help break it down and isolate it so students can, learn the body one step at a time.
Very cool. And now, I think if I was a student, this would be somewhere where I would want to come if I was looking to learn anatomy. I mean, we even have full skeletal models here. But, I think thank you, sir, for letting us invade your guys' space today. And thank you, Chris, for inviting us inside of the STEM Center. This is super cool.
Thank you. And we're always looking for students to come in here.
Well, you heard it from him. If you're a student here, come on down and check out the STEM Center. And back to you in the studio, James.
Thanks, Max. I didn't realize MATC had such a robust STEM center for students here, Nick.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. MATC's resources are such a great source for our students here. Now, question for you, James. Would you rather use a flip phone for the rest of your life or watch television on a box TV?
Okay, well, I'll one-up you on that one. Would you rather use a pulse or touch-tone phone or watch your favorite movie over and over on VHS or Beta?
Huh?
Yeah, we'll talk about that one later over a cup of tea. For now, I just overheard at the MATC Cafe while dining down there that they have opened a new biotech lab on campus. I've always been interested in how science works outside of reading it in a book. You still have those, right, books?
Biotechnology is not only changing the way we understand and interact with the world around us. From developing life-changing vaccines to chemistry and technology to solve real-world problems. In the lab, every sample and measurement, as well as observation, contributes to the discovery that can impact your research. Here at MATC, students gain hands-on knowledge with laboratory techniques that prepare them for the job industry.
The biotech program represents a new direction for MATC. We're focused on the biomedical side of biotechnology. Biotechnology by itself is a very broad field, so we're really focused on helping our students help patients, but doing so from the scientific bench instead of the bedside that you might see with programs like nursing or sonography or something else like that. Yeah, so this program is designed to be broad in terms of the technologies that the students will learn. We span everything from drug development and understanding the chemistry and the production of drugs, biomanufacturing for larger businesses that might be producing different medications and drugs. We also span and go into genetics. We want to know how we can better diagnose patients earlier on in their disease course. We want to utilize genetics so that we can do a better job at selecting the best medication for an individual, this real personalized based medicine that we often hear about, but actually very few people actually experience. And so our students are learning how to do that range of things. They'll pick a lane or an area to move into long term, but in terms of the program itself, it's intentionally broad to give them as much exposure to learning techniques as possible. This is a team-based program, particularly within the biotechnology and related technical courses. Everything is done as a cohort, they're done as a team. We'll spend equivalent amounts of time working in the lab. There's a lecture so the students can learn the critical content that will be necessary for the careers. And if you look around the whole facility, you'll see whiteboards in meeting rooms everywhere. So about a third of our time is actually not spent in the classroom. We sit around a table, we talk, we problem solve. All the students are given real life situations. So we'll take a real life disease that has unmet patient need and medical need, and the students will sit down together as a team and identify potential treatments that could be used. And those are the things that we're actually writing about, we're publishing on, and we're putting out into the community just from the first semester onward. We really help foster the question of why. Why do you want to pursue this? Why is what you're doing important? Our students look at those who are affected. They think about what it must be like to walk in those shoes, and that really will drive them into making the important discoveries that will be necessary to help that particular patient population.
Here in the biotechnology program, students are not only learning what they are expected to know in the workforce, but as well as being part of the experience, because the future of science isn't just discovered, it's built.
Of course, I may never discover a groundbreaking cure just yet, but it looks like that would be the program as a good place to start. Now, Nick, back to your question. I would definitely choose a flip phone and to call some friends to help me pick the TV up because it's so heavy, especially if I'm watching wrestling, huh? Now, let's turn our attention back to our second guest, Sarah Holm, who is an instructor of mechanical design and civil engineering. Did I get that right so far?
Correct.
All right, welcome to the program. Let's start right off with what is the most exciting part of your job, robots.
We are working on integrating robots into our 3D printing courses, so we can actually create different gear ratios and estimate which ones are going to work best versus worst, what is going to be the most over-engineered versus under-engineered, and we can, with that, incorporate FEA afterwards. So we can actually do motion simulations and create MP4s for those, and it will show you all of the different ways that a model or assembly can work for you or against you.
So Sarah, besides robots, which is super cool, can you elaborate on some of the other things that you're teaching students here and how they might bring that with them in the future?
So some of the other things, this is an assembly that one of our students created. It is a little puzzle. This was a midterm from one of our beginner courses, and it's simple, but it understands what you need to do with the 3D printing, the various different model-based definitions versus having those orthographic views like we used to have. Most companies are starting to edge towards model-based definition rather than working on those orthographic prints. So by doing this, it actually reduces the amount of time that an engineer needs to spend on those prints, and it puts more time and effort into the actual creation of that design.
Right. Now, Sarah, you bring up a good point. These aren't from Kmart or AutoZone or anywhere. These were designed and made on a 3D printer, correct?
Correct.
And how much time does that take between the design portion and getting it into your hand?
So as far as design work goes, that is dependent on the individual. However, anything along the lines of a simple assembly such as this one, this is an AutoCAD assignment that we have here. It is a 3-piece assembly that is to be printed at the end of the course. And this is integrated as a nice example just to get them into the field and understand what different things they can do by assembling these different components, not just creating individual parts.
Of course, yes.
Sarah, I think 3D printing is so cool. I used it in 7th grade when I was in my STEM class. How do you see advancements in technology like that, like 3D printing, helping students be more creative in what they design and create?
They can create so many different things, and just getting a basic understanding of what the actual machine is capable of is the main thing that they need to understand, because that does translate over to machining, it translates over to sheet metal work, any type of basic manufacturing. Just understand what the machine's capabilities are, how to program it, and how to tell it what it is that you want out of it.
Exactly. It's basically we tell it and we're kind of responsible in the end for the end quality of the product.
Correct.
Absolutely. Well, Sarah, thanks for coming on the program and explaining all that today. After all these discussions today, Nick, I don't think I'm really sure where technology lies and what side I'm on for or against. But with Sarah and James and all of us, I guess we'll see where this conversation takes us in 10 years. But again, Sarah, thanks for being here today.
Thank you for having me.
All right.
Now, this conversation's been very heavy. So let's spice it up and add some color to it as amateur chef Aidan shows us how to rainbow mocktail. Aidan, floor is yours.
Hello everyone and welcome. As alcohol drinking declines with more and more people going alcohol-free, looking at you Gen Z, mocktails have really stepped into the spotlight. So today we're going to build a layered rainbow mocktail that's simple, sweet, and perfect for any occasion. For our ingredients, here's what you'll need. Cubed ice, grenadine syrup, your favorite fruit juice, blue curacao syrup, club soda, candy for a garnish, sugar, and a glass. When making this drink, you can choose any fruit juice that you may like. Maybe it's pineapple, mango, even lemonade. Today we're just using orange juice. We're going to freshly squeeze ours, which I already did, but that is not required for this drink to be delicious. Now that we have this all done, we're going to make our blue curacao drink. As you can see, I already have some in here, but I'm still going to show you how to make it. We're going to mix it with some club soda. So you're going to want to make sure you get equal parts club soda and this blue curacao. And then, now we got club soda, a little bit of blue curacao, and sweet, that looks good. All right, and then just to finish it off, give it a nice good mix. Make sure everything gets incorporated together. And then next, we are going to prepare our ice. Now, instead of buying crushed ice, we'll be breaking things up with our blender. We wait to do this until the end to avoid any unnecessary melting while we prepare our other ingredients, which would only have diluted our drink. Just like our juice, I've already prepared some right here to help us save some time. All right, before we build our drink, let's elevate our presentation and rim our glass with some sugar. First thing you're going to want to do is get your juice, put it in a little bowl or plate, and just dunk your glass right in there. And then you're going to want to get your sugar on another plate and put your glass in that as well. And boom. Sugared rim adds a little texture and a little sweetness to every sip you take. All right, now let's assemble our drink. First, we're going to fill our glass with a good layer of ice. There we go.
There you go.
You don't want to go light with this ice and get it around a third to a fourth way filled.
This is feeling it, yeah.
That looks pretty good to me. Next, we're going to add our grenadine. We're going to fill it up to the top of that ice layer. And that is going to finalize our bottom base. For our next base, we're going to add even more ice. There we go. Perfect. That's looking pretty good. And we're going to do our blue curacao. Nice and easy. You can use the back of a spoon to help kind of lessen the weakness of it. And there you go, right on top to layer it. Beautiful. And then finally, we're going to add a little bit more ice before we finish it off with some orange juice. There we go. And now, orange juice, just to finish it off. You can also add some candy garnishes, which I have prepared right over here. Boop. And look at that. A beautifully layered, delicious mocktail. This is perfect for any occasion or season. Maybe you want to enjoy it on a warm summer day or brighten up your day during the cold and dreary winter months. Well, that wraps up our segment today. I hope to see you all next time, but for now, stay safe and thirsty. Back to you in the studio.
Oh, thank you, Chef Aidan. Be sure to make me one. Chicken, not stored. Nick was right. Today's topic can definitely be more relaxing with a delicious drink in my hand. You know, taking selfies with my Polaroid. Now let's take a look at Nick, who shares with us the MATC Minute using our very own Romanesque green screen technology.
Study, chill, cram at MATC Oak Creek Campus Library in room A202. Students get together to support one another as time has flown by this semester, leaving the students with only 3 weeks left to wrap up the semester and end off strong. This study session takes place April 28th from 9:30 a.m. to noon. Wellness Wednesday is hosted by Student Life at the Oak Creek Main Atrium, a student weekly event dedicated to success and empowering growth on April 29th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Looking to play some retro games or try something new? Want to hang out with some friends or meet new people? Then come join MATC's Family Game Night. It's happening in the library at the Oak Creek campus on April 30th from 3 p.m. to 6 p.m. Stop by, have some fun, and enjoy a great time with others. Celebrate Black excellence, culture, and student achievement while building community in a safe, inclusive space right here at MATC. Enjoy a night full of energy with a sneaker contest, live DJ, music, giveaways, raffles, and plenty of food and drinks. Join us for the 3rd annual BSU Prom at Oak Creek campus on May 2nd from 7 p.m. to 12 a.m. Get some rest after being there to be with us next week for what's in store for MATC Now. All this and more at matc.edu/events.
Thank you, Nick. I will agree this school year is moving so fast, so now is the best time to join these events. Now let's take a look at student producer Tyvis Johnson as he takes us to a totally radical event that brings the power of technology to life on this week's Hidden Gem KE.
I'm student producer Tyvis Johnson, and this is your Gem KE. Today we're visiting the We Energy STEM Center, where their goal is to help college and K-12 students explore one of the many possibilities in their future.
Teach artificial intelligence. You can add sensors to them, so on the front of that robot you'll see a vision sensor.
Many of the gadgets and machines were actually crafted by college students in the area, so if you're ever feeling crafty, this might be the spot for you to check out.
On the back there's like this little, you can build your own robot from scratch, so some students will come in.
Okay, and this is the first thing you start with.
Thanks to donations from the Milwaukee community and viewers like you, it's possible to make all of this possible for the wonderful students of the Milwaukee community.
So again, using fluid power to make something that can lift up and down. And on competition day,
I'm student producer Tyvis Johnson, and this was your Gem KE.
Well, I wonder if in the future robots will take over the planet. I guess the future is unknown. But wherever we're going, don't worry. I'll type the address into my Garmin, and when I arrive, I'll send you an update of my MySpace while listening to my iPod.
We have so much to talk about later, James. To the other James and Sarah, thank you guys so much for being here with us today. It was really great to have you. We enjoyed your insight.
Thank you.
Your invite was appreciated.
Yep.
All right. And thanks to all of you for tuning in to this non-AI version of MATC Now. Join us for our next episode where flavor meets creativity. Until then, we'll see you next time.